Hey guys, it's Hill with Primal Pillars, bringing you the latest fitness tip to help you dominate your life. I've helped tons of women learn to love their bodies and love lifting weights without obsessing over diets or the scale. I also help you combine one passion with another by helping you stay fit for the outdoors and in the outdoors. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, consider subscribing. So I want to teach you a few ways that you can stretch after a long hike to help you wake up the next morning feeling your best. If you've ever been on a really long hike, you know just how completely exhausted you are afterwards. And a lot of us never really take the time to stretch or cool down properly after a hike like that. And you know when that's the case, you wake up the next morning feeling completely stiff and so sore, way more than you have to if you took the time to stretch. So today I want to show you a few stretches that you can do after a long hike to help you wake up the next morning feeling your best. If you've ever been on a hike for multiple hours or multiple miles, you know that it gets so tedious and repetitive, just the constant repetitive motion that your muscles are under. You know, one foot in front of the other again and again and again, just climbing up that hill. So a lot of times because of this, your muscles are contracting just over and over and over again, and it shortens the muscle fibers. So it's really important to take the time to stretch afterwards, because that's going to help re-lengthen the muscle tissue and help you maintain flexibility and improve soreness. And also with that repetitive motion again and again, it's really compressing the spine a lot over that many hours. So when you take the time to stretch and decompress the spine, it's really going to leave you feeling so much better. And if you know that if you have like back pain or knee pain or any sort of joint pain after you hike, that's really going to make a huge difference. Here's a good all-around stretch series that you can do even before you leave the woods and go home and get back into your car. That's just really going to hit all the key areas that are tight and stiff after your long hike. Now you really want to make sure you take care of your quads and hip flexors because your quads obviously are exhausted from the constant incline of going up the mountain, and your hip flexors, which are right at the top of your quads, are responsible for that motion of bringing your knee up, or bringing your leg up in front of you again and again. So those muscle groups really take a big beating during a long hike. So one of my favorite stretches you can do for that is called the couch stretch, and you can do this at home on your couch, or I'm going to use this handy dandy rock right here. So you want to put the top of your foot on the rock or on the couch and get your knee directly below that. Then from there, you're going to bring your other leg up into a lunge. So you can see how this is kind of like that standing quad stretch that you grew up doing with your soccer team, but this just makes it a really deep and intense stretch right in the hip flexor and in the quads. You don't need to lean forward into this at all, just stay totally upright, and if you're really tight you might have a hard time coming up into this lunge position and getting this other leg up, so just take it nice and slow. Also make sure you're not arching your back to lean back in this, but keep your spine neutral and just stay right here. And you can even squeeze this glute to kind of push your hip forward more into the stretch. Hold this for about 2 minutes on each side, which I know is going to feel like agony, but it'll really help loosen those muscle fibers. Try out this calf stretch series. You can just do this up against a tree or a wall or a rock or anything you have, really. Start off with the foot, the ball of the foot, the toe of the foot. Lady, move. Lady, move. The toe or the ball of the foot up against a tree, a wall, a rock, whatever you have. Keep the knee locked when you do this and just gently lean forward. You're going to feel this stretch higher up in the calf, just below the knee. Then from there you can bend that knee and push it towards the tree. That's going to change the stretch lower down, more into the Achilles heel. To stretch the hamstrings, simply just kick your foot up on a rock or anything that you have. And kind of like the calf stretch, start with your knee locked and fold forward at the hips instead of allowing your spine to round. So the knee is locked, you're just bending forward as far as you can, and you're gonna feel this stretch a lot more right behind the knee. Hold this for about 30 to 60 seconds, and then from there you can bend the knee and let the spine round. getting as much reach as you can. And you're gonna feel this a lot more higher up in the hamstrings, more towards like your glutes. Next, stand up nice and tall, reach your fingers into the air as far as you can. And with this, we're gonna stretch out the shoulders and kind of the side of the body. So reach as high as you can, and then just drop one arm to the side and bend towards that direction. So notice how I'm still reaching tall and long in my spine and with my arm, kind of like you're creating a half moon shape with the side of your body. So you don't necessarily want to be reaching really far that way, but think about keeping the side of your body really long and tall. And make sure you do both sides. Along these lines with decompressing the spine, which is so important after a long hike, you can just find a branch, or if you're at home, like a pull-up bar, a door frame, whatever you have that you can kind of hang from your hands and that will hold the weight of your body. Just allow the weight of your body to really like sink into the stretch. You're gonna feel your shoulders loosen up. You're gonna feel the decompression in your spine. You might also hear some crackles in the spine. And then to finish off this spinal decompression series, just find a spot on the ground and we're gonna do some CatCow, just like you would do in yoga. So breathe in, arch your back and look up. And then breathe out, round out your spine, really pushing tall through your shoulders, pushing through the heels of your hands. And do this a few more times, just with your breathing. From there, you can also come into like a cobra stretch or upward dog and get some extension in the spine. And then from there, sit your hips back. Okay, Mishka, watch out. And you'll flex the spine in child's pose. So that's really good to stretch out, again, the spine, the upper back, and the shoulders as well. I also really love getting down on the ground. It's just a good way to kind of like connect with the earth. And you also get filthy. Another stretch we can do here is a seated spinal twist. So start with one leg straight out in front of you, cross the other over your knee, and just making sure you keep your spine long and tall. You're gonna gently rotate and twist. And being 36 weeks pregnant, this one is a little tricky for me to do, but I think you guys get the idea. That's gonna feel so good because after so long of moving like in a straight line, it feels good to get some rotation back through your torso and in your spine. And a last little bonus thing you can do, which is actually my favorite thing ever, is to take a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball and roll out the arches of your feet. So take off your shoes and just do quick motions with the ball across your arch. So your feet have just taken a serious beating from this hike. All the muscles in the arches of your feet are really, really tight, and it is gonna feel so good to roll that out, and it's really gonna help improve circulation. If you learned a little something from this video today, hit that like button and leave me a comment telling me what's the best hike you've been on lately. I'd love to hear from you guys about all of your adventures and how this series of stretching helps you feel your best after a